Am I the a-hole for skipping my family Christmas because I can't afford the $250 white elephant gift and they refuse to lower the limit? Hey Reddit. This whole thing started a few weeks ago when my mom sent out the annual group text about our family Christmas plans. Usually, it's a fun time. We do a potluck, a white elephant gift exchange, and just hang out. But this year, they decided to spice things up, and not in a good way. My mom announced that the gift limit for the white elephant exchange would be $250 this year. Not a maximum but the required amount. No wiggle room, no opting out. I stared at my phone, rereading the message, thinking it had to be a typo. $250 for a joke gift? In this economy? I'm a single guy in my late 20s, living paycheck to paycheck. Between rent, bills, and just trying to scrape by, there's no way I can throw down $250 on something that'll probably end up as a gag or sit in someone's closet collecting dust. So, I texted back, asking if we could lower the limit or at least make it optional for those of us who can't swing that much. Cue the judgmental responses. My sister, who's married to a guy who makes six figures, chimed in first. She said the higher limit was to make the game more exciting and to prevent people from bringing cheap junk like last year. Side note, I was the one who brought the so-called cheap junk, a set of novelty mugs and hot cocoa, which were actually a hit until she made that comment. My mom then said the limit was non-negotiable because it's tradition to have a nice exchange, even though this is the first year they've ever set such a high price. My brother joined in, saying if I couldn't afford it, maybe I should reevaluate my priorities. Right, because spending $250 on a gift I don't even get to keep should obviously top my list of financial goals. I tried to explain that I just don't have that kind of money to spend, but it only made things worse. My sister said I was being selfish for ruining the vibe of Christmas and that if everyone else could do it, I should too. My mom suggested I put it on a credit card if money was so tight, which made me furious. I refused to go into debt for a white elephant gift. After a lot of back and forth, I finally said if the limit stayed at $250, I wouldn't be attending. That's when the guilt tripping began. My mom said Christmas is about family and that I was making it all about money. My sister said I was being a Grinch and trying to punish everyone else because I'm bitter about my financial situation. My brother even threw in a passive-aggressive comment about how he's always happy to help out if I need money, but it felt more like a jab than a genuine offer. At that point, I'd had enough. I told them I wasn't coming and muted the group chat. Update. After I told them I wasn't coming, I thought things would cool down, but nope. My mom called me the next day, asking if I'd calmed down and was ready to apologize. Apologize for what? For not being able to afford a $250 gift? For setting boundaries? She kept saying how disappointed she was that I would miss Christmas over something so small. I told her it wasn't small to me, it's a huge expense I simply can't afford. She then hit me with the classic line, "You're making it about money when it's really about family." I told her if it was really about family, they wouldn't put such a ridiculous price tag on participation. She didn't like that answer and hung up on me. Since then, I've been getting texts from my sister, calling me dramatic and accusing me of trying to make a statement. My brother, shockingly, hasn't said much, but I did see him posting on Facebook about how the true spirit of Christmas is generosity, which I'm 99% sure was aimed at me. On the bright side, a couple of my cousins privately messaged me to say they thought the $250 limit was ridiculous too but didn't want to cause drama by speaking up. They said they're still going but are only doing it because they don't want to deal with the fallout of skipping. It made me feel a little less crazy, but also kind of sad that this has turned into such a divisive thing. Another update. Christmas without my family. Christmas Day came, and I stuck to my guns. I didn't go. Instead, I spent the day volunteering at a local shelter, handing out meals and gifts to families who actually appreciated them. It was honestly one of the most fulfilling Christmases I've had in years. Seeing the smiles on people's faces and knowing I was making a real difference felt way better than sitting in a room full of passive-aggressive relatives exchanging overpriced junk. That night, I got a call from my cousin, one of the ones who had messaged me earlier. She said the gift exchange had been a total disaster. Apparently, some people took the $250 limit as a suggestion to bring luxury items, while others brought overpriced novelty stuff. My sister, for example, brought a designer purse, while my mom brought a $250 gift card to a steakhouse. Meanwhile, my brother brought a high-end set of kitchen knives, and my cousin brought a bottle of wine and some fancy glasses. The problem? No one wanted the novelty gifts, and a few people were openly upset about ending up with something they didn't like. My mom ended up with my cousin's wine set and was visibly disappointed, which led to a big argument about how everyone should have put more thought into their gifts. My sister stormed off after someone joked that her purse was only useful if you liked the color pink. Hearing all of this just confirmed I made the right decision by not going. It sounded like a total train wreck. Final update. A few days after Christmas, I got a text from my mom. She apologized not for the $250 limit, but for how things escalated. She said she didn't realize how much stress the gift exchange was causing and admitted it might have been a little over the top. While it wasn't the full acknowledgement I wanted, it was something. Then, my sister called. I thought it was going to be another round of guilt tripping, but she actually admitted the whole thing was ridiculous. She said she realized during the exchange how out of touch the $250 limit was and apologized for being so harsh with me. I could tell it wasn't easy for her to say that, and I appreciated it. As for my brother, he hasn't said anything directly to me, but I heard through my cousin that he's the one pushing to lower the limit for next year. Apparently, after seeing how poorly this year's exchange went, he's all for going back to a reasonable amount or even skipping the exchange altogether. I'm still not sure how I feel about next Christmas. Part of me wants to give them another chance, especially since it seems like they're rethinking things. But another part of me wonders if I'm better off spending the holidays on my own terms. Volunteering was such a rewarding experience that I'm tempted to make it my new tradition. For now, I'm just glad this year is over. Maybe next time, they'll think twice before letting money dictate the holidays. So, Reddit, am I the a-hole?